Today, our mission is looking at Docusign eSignature. We're going to explore how you can use it to, well, send, sign, and manage agreements much more efficiently. We'll dive into some features too, ones that really streamline your workflows.
Exactly. It's all about helping you leverage digital agreements, save time, cut down on errors, just make work easier. Okay, let's unpack this then. So when you're ready to get an agreement signed digitally with Docusign eSignature, where do you even begin?
Right, it all starts with sending the agreement, or what we call an envelope in Docusign.
An envelope, like a digital one.
Exactly. Think of it as the digital container holding everything together. Your documents, who needs to sign, where they need to sign, and any other settings. The actual sending process. Basically 5 key steps. First up, getting your documents into that envelope.
Okay, so I've got my document ready. What kind of files can I actually use? Is it just PDFs?
Oh no, you've got a lot of flexibility there. You can upload loads of different file types. PDFs, sure, but also Word docs, images like JPEGs, spreadsheets, even plain text files. You can grab them right from your computer, or cloud storage services too.
Got it. Documents are in. What about who needs to see it or sign it?
That's the next crucial step. Adding your recipients. The most common action, obviously, is needs to sign. But you can also add recipients who just receive a copy for their records. Or maybe someone who needs to view, they have to open it to acknowledge they've seen it.
Okay.
And you can layer on security too. For sensitive stuff, you might require recipients to, say, enter a code sent via text message or use other identity verification methods before they can even open the documents.
That's good for control. And how do I personalize the interaction for them? Make it less robotic?
You customize the envelope subject line and the email message they get. Make it really clear what the agreement is about. Then you can set optional advanced things like automatic reminders if they haven't signed after a bid, or set an expiration date so it doesn't hang around forever.
Okay, so documents, recipients, message, settings, all loaded into this digital envelope. What's the final piece before I hit send?
Placing the fields on the documents. This is where you tell Docusign eSignature exactly where signers need to click, type, or provide info. You've got a whole set of standard fields. Signature, initial, date signed, the basics. But then there are fields for text input, numbers, checkboxes, radio buttons, drop-down menus. Lots more to collect data right on the form.
And you can tweak those fields.
Absolutely. You can customize them. Make a field required or read-only. Add validation, like for a date format or an email address. You can even add a little tooltip, like a help bubble, next to a field for extra guidance.
Okay, that really covers the sending side. Now let's flip it. What's it like for the person receiving this? How simple is the actual signing part?
That's the beauty of it, really. For the signer, it's usually just 3 straightforward steps. They get a notification, usually email, but could be SMS or even WhatsApp with a secure link. They click that. Then they just review the document, fill in any fields assigned to them. Docusign eSignature guides them right through it. And finally, click Finish. It's designed to be super intuitive. Anyone, anywhere, pretty much any device.
What if I get something, but I don't know, I'm on vacation, can't sign it right away?
Yep, there's a feature for that. You can assign a delegate to sign for you if you're out or unavailable. And actually, if you just need to sign a document yourself, maybe a PDF on your computer that wasn't sent to you, there's a sign a document feature for that too. It's quick and doesn't even count against your sending allowance.
Right. So once all these agreements are out, people are signing. How do you keep track of everything? Managing all these envelopes sounds like it could get messy.
Yeah, that's where the management features come in handy. Mostly accessed through the Agreements tab in your account. The core idea here is visibility and control. You can easily see the status of every single envelope you've sent or you're involved in. Is it waiting for someone? Is it all done? Maybe it got voided. It's all there.
And if something needs changing after it's gone out, mistakes happen.
Exactly. And you have options. You can easily resend the notification email to someone who hasn't acted yet.
Yeah.
If there's a small mistake, like a typo in an email address, or maybe you need to give someone more time, you can actually correct the envelope while it's in progress. And if the whole agreement just isn't needed anymore, you can void it. Just know that voiding is final. It can't be undone. You give a reason, and everyone involved gets notified.
For teams working together, that shared visibility must be crucial, right? So one person isn't a bottleneck.
Absolutely. Shared access is a key feature for collaboration. It lets colleagues on the same account see and manage envelopes sent by others. Great for covering when someone's out of office. Plus, you can run reports, get insights into envelope status, see how quickly things are getting signed, track usage over time. Really invaluable for understanding how your processes are working.
You mentioned streamlining workflows earlier, and templates sound like they'd be a massive part of that. How do templates fit into this?
Templates are where the efficiency really gets, well, turbocharged. Think of them as preset blueprints for your common agreements. Instead of setting up the same document, adding the same recipients with the same roles, placing the same fields, applying the same settings, every single time you send, say, a standard NDA, you just create a template once.
So it saves clicks, obviously, but is it more than just speed?
Oh, much more. The real insight with templates is consistency and speed. They save you time, yes, but they also drastically cut down the chance of errors because everything is standardized. When you need to send that standard NDA, you just grab the template, boom. Documents, recipients, fields, settings, all instantly loaded.
Okay, but what if the document content changes slightly each time, like an offer letter with different names and salaries?
Good question. Yes, there's a distinction there. For documents that are identical every time, like a compliance form, you just use a template. But for things like that offer letter, where the core is the same but details change, you can apply a template. You upload your specific offer letter, and Docusign eSignature applies the roles, fields, and settings from your template onto that new document. It even has this cool template matching feature that can look at the document you upload and suggest matching templates. Saves even more time.
That makes sense. We heard about a legal assistant, right? She uses the standard NDA template for quick sends.
Exactly. But for custom NDAs, she uploads her version and just applies the template to get the right people and fields in place instantly. Huge time saver compared to doing it manually.
Okay, that really covers the basics and how templates boost efficiency, but let's go deeper. What other features does Docusign eSignature have to make agreement workflows even smarter, handle more complex stuff?
Right. Once you've got the basics down, you start running into more complex needs. That's where features like AutoPlace fields come in. The idea here is automating where fields go. You can tell Docusign eSignature, hey, every time you see the text string and initial here, put an initial field right next to it. Saves tons of manual dragging and dropping on long documents.
What about including documents just for reference, things people need to see but not necessarily sign, like terms and conditions?
Yeah, you can add supplemental documents to the envelope for that. They're included alongside the main documents needing signatures. Recipients might just need to review them, or maybe click an accept button for those, separate from signing the main agreement, like including your standard account policies with an order form they have to sign. Okay, what about handling envelopes with multiple documents where maybe not everyone should see everything, like internal notes versus the customer contract? Seems like a privacy thing.
Exactly. The problem document visibility solves. The insight is granular control. You can set it up so specific recipients only see the documents relevant to them within that single envelope. Often it's based on whether they have fields assigned on that particular document. So you could easily combine a sales contract the customer sees and signs with an internal checklist only your sales manager sees, all in one smooth process.
Clever. And making documents more dynamic, like calculating totals on an order form automatically. That's where formula fields really shine. You can build formulas right into the fields. So on an order form, as someone enters quantities or prices in certain fields, other fields, using formulas, can automatically calculate subtotals, taxes, grand totals, right there in real time as they type. It makes static forms feel much more interactive.
Can fields appear or disappear based on choices someone makes? Like checking a box makes more questions show up.
Yes, that's conditional fields. You set rules. If someone selects option A in this dropdown, then show fields X, Y, and Z. If they select option B, maybe hide field X and show field P instead. Think of an account change form. Fields for updating your address only appear if you actually check the box saying, I need to update my address. It keeps the form clean and only shows what's relevant.
And the routing, the order people sign in, that can be smart too, right? Not just a fixed sequence?
Correct. Conditional routing takes that dynamic idea to the workflow itself. You can route the envelope to different people based on data entered earlier, like that expense report example. If the amount is under $500, it goes straight to the manager. If it's over $500, a rule automatically sends it to the director after the manager approves. Automates complex approvals.
What if I'm sending something but I don't actually know who the next signer should be yet? Maybe the first person needs to specify their manager.
Yeah, that happens. The specify recipient's action is perfect for this. It lets one recipient in the chain fill in the name and email address for someone signing later on. Super useful for things like loan applications where maybe the primary applicant needs their spouse to co-sign but doesn't have their email handy right at that moment.
And signing in person, face-to-face, maybe at an event, without needing email right then and there.
In-person signing handles that. A host, someone with a Docusign account, facilitates the session on their device, like a tablet. The signer reviews and signs right there. Great for event registrations, waivers, things where immediate, on-the-spot signing is needed without email access.
Okay, last big efficiency question. What about standard documents going to tons of people? Hundreds, maybe close to 1,000. Sending one by one sounds like a complete nightmare.
Oh, it would be. That's exactly what bulk send is designed for. The insight is mass distribution done efficiently. You can send the same document or template to up to 999 recipients all at once. You usually use a CSV file, like a spreadsheet with everyone's details. You can even use that file to pre-fill specific fields on the document for each person. Perfect for sending out training acknowledgments, updated policy forms, consent requests, anything going to a large group. And all these features, they combine to power just a huge range of real-world uses cases across pretty much every department.
Can you give us some concrete examples you've seen where Docusign eSignature really changed how a team works?
Oh, absolutely. Human resources is a massive area. Think about onboarding new hires, offer letters, W-4s, I-9s, policy docs, all streamlined. Legal teams use it constantly for NDAs, master service agreements, contract management in general, procurement for vendor contracts, purchase orders, even education. Student applications, permission slips for field trips, handling sensitive documents like IEPs involving parents, teachers, administrators. It simplifies so much.
Any really surprising or creative uses you've come across, things beyond the obvious sign here?
Definitely. We saw during the pandemic, lots of companies suddenly needed digital signatures on things they never thought about digitizing before, like weekly time cards, because everyone was remote. We've seen people get creative using fields to replicate old processes, like setting up a field that acts like a paid stamp on an invoice that an accounts payable person clicks. Some have even integrated it with check printing systems to get required digital signatures on checks when the authorized signers weren't physically in the office. It shows the potential goes way beyond just a basic signature.
It really sounds like Docusign eSignature isn't just this isolated tool then. How does it fit into the bigger picture of managing agreements?
That's a really important point. Docusign eSignature is actually a core piece of the larger Docusign Intelligent Agreement Management Platform, or Docusign IAM platform. And that platform is designed to tackle a big problem of news. Businesses face something we call the agreement trap.
The agreement trap. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, it's this issue where all the critical information, the valuable data inside your agreements, gets locked away in static files. PDFs, maybe even paper files somewhere. It makes that information hard to find, hard to analyze, hard to act on. And that trapped value costs businesses time, creates risks, and means missed opportunities. The Docusign IAM platform aims to fix that. It helps you manage agreements across their entire life cycle, from creating them to getting them signed and committed to, and then managing them afterwards, all in one connected, collaborative space. eSignature is that key commit step, getting it finalized. But the Docusign IAM platform also has tools for the create stage, like template builder or generating documents automatically, and tools for the manage stage, like a central repository to store everything, plus advanced reporting and analytics. It's about unlocking value and reducing risk across that whole life cycle.
Okay, so for someone listening, hearing all these capabilities, maybe feeling a bit overwhelmed, where do I even start? What's the advice from the Docusign resources?
Yeah, it can seem like a lot, but the advice is pretty straightforward. First, don't feel you have to boil the ocean. Start small. Identify just one or two processes where you're still heavily reliant on paper or scanning, printing, maybe even faxing. Those are usually great starting points.
The real places to look.
Departments like HR, sales, procurement, they often have what you might call low-hanging fruit, lots of repetitive agreements. Sometimes just asking your teams, doing a quick survey, can uncover needs you didn't even know existed and expect some resistance to change. That's normal. Rolling things out in phases can help people adjust. Getting clear support from leadership, maybe even a mandate, that really helps drive adoption.
Yeah.
Also, consider setting up some clear rules and procedures for how your organization uses Docusign eSignature, maybe forming a little internal center of excellence. And honestly, prototyping is super powerful. Build a simple version of a potential use case, maybe a basic request form using a template, then show it to people. When they see how easy it is compared to the old way, they'll want to switch. The template library is a great place to grab examples for those prototypes.
That's fantastic, practical advice. So if you need more help or want to really dig into some of these features we talked about, where can you turn?
Docusign provides a ton of resources. You can learn more and get skilled up through Docusign University. If you run into technical issues, there's Docusign support. For best practices and connecting with other users, the Docusign community is great. And of course, for specific account questions or exploring more advanced solutions, you can always connect with the sales team.
This has been a really insightful deep dive into Docusign eSignature and the wider Docusign IAM platform. Thank you so much for walking us through it all.
My pleasure. Yeah, just remember, the goal is success, right? Making things work better. And there are so many tools and resources out there to help you on that journey. Definitely worth exploring.
Absolutely. And thinking about those examples, pandemic time cards, signing checks remotely, managing that complex routing, and who sees what doc, it really hits home that digitizing agreements isn't just about speed anymore. It's really about building smarter, more efficient, more dynamic processes that unlock all that value previously trapped in static documents. So the question for you is, what processes in your world could you transform? Thank you for joining us for this episode. We hope you enjoyed the discussion. Listen to another episode to learn more about the Docusign IAM platform and how to unlock the value of your agreements.